the Spanx model and how that helps us make more money, create more meaning, and have more impact to our clients. Hey guys, my name is Stefan Gospodinov. I'm the founder of Practice Peak, where my mission is to help clinics scale, evolve, and have a huge impact at the same time on the world. I believe we've done that, and now it's just the next logical step is to teach others how to do that too. And this model is a little bit unusual. What on earth is the Spanx model? And I'm going to explain how that relates to your business, your time management, and how to actually create urgency to scale your practice. If you feel stuck, if you feel like you've been doing this over and over and over again and nothing has actually changed. So I'd like to help you out with this, because this model was taken from, so Spanx is a company created by Sarah Blakely. And how do I describe this to you? If people are a bit chubby and they want to hide their chubbiness, there's these like tight pants and corset looking things that just make you a little bit, less chubby. It looks like you're hiding the puffiness around the waist. And the model I want to share with you today helps you do exactly that, but in your business, in your time, and the way you achieve things. And here is why. There's a law. It's called Parkinson's law. And Parkinson's law states that, if you haven't read up on this, by the way, I mention this to my team all the time. Parkinson's law that says that time will expand based on how much time you give that thing. So, for example, how many times have you been involved with a project and the deadline is July the 1st and you wait until June the 30th to complete the task? Elon Musk is very good at understanding that. So knowing that something might take people a month, he would constrict that to a week and say, we need to get it done by Saturday. It shrinks the time, therefore you create more focus, more attention, and more energy to leverage everything you have to achieve that thing by constricting the time. There is a law in physics that states the same thing. Gas expands as the environment expands. So if you constrict the environment, the gas, this state of physical thing will constrict too. So why does that matter to your practice? Why does that matter to your business? Well, it matters because very often as a business owner, you probably find it difficult to know what to focus on, how to focus on it. And I often get people ask me, but how do you actually run two businesses and have time for your family, and you guys go on, you have time for a trip? And that's why I said more money, more meaning, more impact. Because if you apply this law, you will understand that some of the most successful people in the world are also happy, because it is possible to have meaning, create meaningful work, and to make financial rewards, because that's just a byproduct of the quality of your work. And there's lots of mental models that you can think about that, but this is how I think. So if I had, let's say we think of our typical week, and your typical week might be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. The first thing I would look at, and I try to do this a lot, is, do I need to be going at 100 miles an hour every single day? The answer to that is no, you don't need to. But you have to think, well, if I want to, let's say, have Fridays off, and I want to test this experiment for the next, I tend to do 1 to 3 month projects. What would that look like? And very often I cannot physically do Fridays because I might be away, I might not be in the country, I might be flying or traveling. So my week all of a sudden is constricted to 4 days. That forces me to think, well, what are the critical, most important things that I have to achieve on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in order for the impact to be like a 7-day working week? So you reverse engineer it. If you didn't watch my previous videos on time management, please go back and watch it, because it explains this model about signal to noise ratio. Very important. And then you can go into the micro strategy. So let's say on Monday, I can do a task where I have to meet my practice manager. I have to look at the stats. I have to do pay. I have to do invoices. I have to train my chiropractors. I have to spend time with my son. I have to train myself to go to the gym. I have to eat well. I have to spend some quality time with my wife. And all of a sudden, I'm like, hang on, there is 200 things that I have to do just on a Monday. So what you do is you identify, how can I have this successful Monday, whatever you define success as, and get rid of the tasks that actually are low leverage. Or I find a way to delegate, or both. I used to be very bad at this, and then I realized that you cannot build a successful practice if you don't learn the power of delegation. So This is why we have teams. This is why we teach people in the mastermind community how to leverage your staff, how to train people, how to hire people, how to build systems in place so you have a highly functioning team unit that works towards the same goal. But what I would do is I would have this tool that I would use to say, right, what does the business actually look like? What is a business? Well, a chiropractic business is all about having new patients coming through the door. By the way, I don't think that's the most important thing. A lot of coaches teach that. I don't believe that's the case. The second thing is, how do I have a product or a service that is absolutely world-class service? This is where we have the perfect new patient journey. If you've not seen this training, please go and watch it. It will be on our YouTube channel somewhere. And we need teams. And that's usually things like culture. This is like the stuff about hiring, onboarding. We just did a massive training with my mastermind group on how to onboard a new associate from day one to year one. And there really isn't that many more things in the business that you need to worry about. So if I was to say, well, look, what do I do on Monday? Well, I'm going to do things that are very high leverage to get the clinic new patients. I'm going to make sure that we provide the best service possible, therefore internal systems, procedures, policies, ongoing training of the team, making sure that they can deliver the best possible treatment for our patients, and making sure that I care about the guys because they are the business. So if I was to really simplify what a business is, it's that. It doesn't get much more complicated than teams, service or product, and new patient acquisition, lead gen, call it whatever you want to call it. So with that said, it just creates a lot less anxiety knowing that I'm not going to spend Monday just doing to-dos for the sake of doing to-dos. I'm going to strategically understand what my business is, and then I'm going to link it to another mental framework. And this is where the Spanx model, this is where we really try to focus on the most important tasks in your business is, what's the current biggest challenge or constraint or roadblock? What is this one thing that, if this is a funnel here, and on the top we have happy new patients coming in, they're actually not happy when they're in pain. How can I run them through this journey so that at the end I have a happy customer who is pain-free, loves life, quality of life is improved, the team is happy, they refer to us, many more people, to have the same happy experience. And the roadblock is the first thing, the biggest thing that blocks this patient journey flow. That might be you have a low conversion rate of new patients going into ROF. That might be the ROFs not committing to a financial plan, so they don't even complete the plan, so they leave your clinic. That might be down here. It might be you don't have ways to maintain people and to educate them on long term, so you don't have table talk. So there are so many things to work on, but if you use the mental model of the framework that I like to call what's the biggest roadblock in my business, removing that, solving that problem first is the most critical thing you have to put in your diary, which, takes me back to here. So you can understand how this model can work for any clinic, any size, at any time of the evolution of your business. As long as you combine those two things, is how do I constrict the amount of time I spend? Because people say, oh, I'm so busy, Stefan. I've got this and I've got that. It's easy for you. You've got a team of 15. I only got to this stage because of those things that I've thought about and those things that we put in practice and in place. So it's not that I can do these things because I got here. I got here because I was doing those things. So I really, really encourage you guys to think about, what does my business look like currently? Am I just BSing myself about actually working on the things that matter, or am I just doing low leverage tasks that I could delegate someone on Fiverr or hire someone to do them? And it's not easy for me because I have two businesses, I have kids, a wife, and I try to look after myself and stay in decent shape because I want to live a healthy, long, happy life. So it's not easy, but if an idiot like myself can do it, so can you. Yes, I have mentors. Yes, I've always had mentors. Yes, now we have one of the most amazing networks of masterminds and programs in the industry that I believe changes lots and lots of clinics and patients' lives. But find your tribe. Find your way to vibe with people and they can show you the way, and that's probably the biggest cheat code I can give you, is how do I bulletproof my practice by modeling something that many, many, many people in front of me have done, and they've paved that path for success. So guys, I would love to be able to help you and help you scale your practice and show you how that works. I literally, when people come on the program, I open the curtains for my clinic and they can see everything, how we run, how we operate, how we build systems, how we get hundreds of new patients a month. But I cannot help you unless you want to be helped. So for those of you who are curious how we help clients, jump on the call with me. I'm going to go through what's your goals, what are the roadblocks. I'm going to actually explain these whole models so you can start thinking for yourself. And then my job is just to mostly keep you accountable and tell you what not to do if you feel like your practice is just stuck and there's no way to get to the next level. There's always a way. You just need to know what you currently don't know. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.